97% cache hit ratio sounds great, until you realize it's serving 3-hour-old Black Friday prices. The problem? 4 caching layers stacked stale data, and the webhook only invalidated 2 of them. The use cache directive and its companion APIs CacheLife and CacheTag were introduced in Next.js 15 stable and are fully available in Next.js 16. If your project is still on Next.js 14 or earlier, these features do not exist. You must use the older unstable cache API or fetch options instead. Always verify your Next.js version before adopting the directive. The article mentions using a version header to force router cache invalidation, but doesn't show the implementation. Here's a concrete pattern. Set a XApp version header on the server response, then check it in a client component to call router refresh when the version changes. When using Next.Revalidate, the first request after the TTL expires will still receive stale data while the background revalidation runs. This is by design, Stale-While-Revalidate. For time-sensitive data like pricing, a 60-second revalidate means users could see prices up to 60 seconds old. Combine with tag-based invalidation for immediate updates when data changes. The article advises auditing fetch calls but doesn't provide a script. Here's a concrete grep command to find all fetch calls in your codebase and check for explicit cache options, helping you identify missing configurations. Let's break down the Next.js 16 caching model, data cache, full root cache, and client cache, how it works, and the exact mistake behind that failure. Next.js caching is like a warehouse with 4 storage rooms. The full root cache stores pre-built pages. The data cache stores individual fetch results. The client router cache lives in the browser. React cache deduplicates within a single render. They all work together, and they can all serve stale data. The full root cache is the outermost layer. It stores the entire rendered HTML and RSC payload at build time. It's infinite by default. It never revalidates unless you explicitly configure it. If your CMS updates content after a build, the cached page will not reflect those changes. Here's a simple static page. The fetch uses force cache, so the page becomes statically generated and enters the full root cache. Without revalidation, this page will never update until the next deploy. The data cache stores individual fetch responses. In Next.js 16, fetch defaults to no store fresh data on every request. You opt into caching with force cache, revalidate, or tags. This is a breaking change from v14, so many teams upgrading miss it. Here are the 3 data cache options. No store is the default, fresh but slow. Force cache is permanent but dangerous without revalidation. Revalidate gives you Stale-While-Revalidate. Tags let you invalidate groups of fetches with revalidate tag. The client router cache stores RSC payloads in the browser. When a user navigates using link or router push, the cache serves the stored payload, no server request needed. It has hard-coded TTLs, 30 seconds for static routes, 5 minutes for dynamic routes. You can't change the router cache TTL directly, but you can work around it. This hook calls router refresh, when the window regains focus, forcing a fresh server render and clearing the cache for the current route. React cache is often misunderstood. It's not a persistent cache, it only deduplicates identical function calls within a single server render pass. If your layout and page both call the same function, cache ensures only one database query is made. The correct way, define the cached function at module level, outside any component. The incorrect way, defining it inside a component creates a new cache instance on every render, so deduplication never happens. Next.js 15 Plus introduced the use cache directive for declarative component-level caching. It caches the entire rendered output of a server component. Pair it with CacheLife for TTL and CacheTag for on-demand invalidation. Here's a component using use cache. The directive sits at the top of the function body. CacheLife, minutes 5 sets a 5-minute TTL. The component output is cached, but the individual fetch inside still has its own cache options. The 4 layers stack. When a user visits a page, the router cache is checked first, then the full root cache, then during rendering the data cache and React cache, apply. If any layer serves stale data, the entire page can be stale. This webhook handler invalidates the full root cache and data cache. But note, it does not touch the router cache. You must also call router refresh on the client to clear the browser cache. This is the same issue we highlighted at the start. Here's exactly why that happened. The full root cache was built at 9 p.m. with old data. The data cache used force cache with no revalidation. The CMS webhook called revalidatePath, which invalidated server caches, but the router cache on each user's browser still held the old RSC payload. Users saw old prices for up to 5 minutes. The data cache defaulted to no store in Next.js 16, but the fetch calls lacked explicit revalidation, causing stale prices to be served from the full root cache without any freshness check. The fix involved multiple changes. First, they changed fetch calls from force cache to next. Revalidate, 60 tags, pricing, they added revalidate tag, pricing, to the webhook. For existing users, they deployed a version-based check that calls router refresh when the app version changes. Calling revalidatePath or revalidate tag only invalidates the full root cache and data cache. The client router cache in each user's browser continues serving the old RSC payload until its TTL expires or the user hard refreshes. During the Black Friday incident, cache was working perfectly. It deduplicated the stale fetch calls. The team saw only one fetch log per render and assumed data was fresh. Always check whether cache is hiding staleness. In Next.js 16, a bare fetch with no cache option defaults to no store. That means every request hits the origin. One team found 47 such fetches per page load. Always add an explicit cache option. Force cache without any revalidation means the fetch result is cached forever. When the CMS updated prices, the server still served the old cached response. Always pair force cache with a revalidation strategy. To debug stale cache, start by checking the Next.js cache header on server responses. Audit all fetch calls in your codebase for explicit cache options. Use client-side telemetry to detect when a page was served from the router cache. And consider running a headless browser after CMS updates to compare rendered data. Let's run through some common interview questions. Name the 4 caching layers in Next.js 16 and explain when each is invalidated. Full root cache, redeploy/revalidate, data cache, revalidate/tags, router cache, router refresh TTL, React cache, per render. How would you design a caching strategy for an e-commerce site with catalog hourly, pricing minutes, inventory real-time, catalog, revalidate, 3600 with tags. Pricing, revalidate, 60 with tags and webhook. Inventory, no store with PPR streaming. What is the difference between cache, force cache, and next? Revalidate, 300, force cache is permanent until redeploy. Revalidate, 300 uses Stale-While-Revalidate with background regeneration. And a few frequently asked questions. What is the difference between full root cache and data cache? Full root cache stores entire HTML pages at build time. Data cache stores individual fetch responses at request time. How do I invalidate the router cache for all users? There is no built-in way. Use version headers that trigger router refresh or set short cache control headers. Does React cache persist across requests? No, it only deduplicates within a single server render pass. Each new request creates a fresh cache instance. Let's recap the key takeaways. 4 layers: full root, data, router, React cache. Server invalidation does not clear router cache. Always set explicit cache options on fetch. Different data types need different strategies. Ready to go deeper? Up next, incremental static regeneration ISR in Next.js 16, then server actions deep dive, forms, validation, and progressive enhancement, then environment variables and configuration in Next.js 16 and testing Next.js applications, unit, integration, and E2E testing. Find them all at TheCodeForge.io. Thanks for watching. The full article and code examples are covered in detail at TheCodeForge.io.